This is a Pentium 60 amp ESC for aeroplanes, and guess what? They only heatsink the top transistors, and it started to fail. So look at what happened here. These transistors are completely burnt. So I'll have to think of some way of heat sinking the bottom transistor. So the transistors arrived. I'm putting some heat sinking grease. I put on all of the transistors on this ESC. And I'll then heat sink it with some pieces of aluminum at the bottom. And also some thermal pads, because this board is actually curved, it's actually bent. So I'll have to use the thermal pads and additional heat sinking grease. Okay, so I've changed the transistors, the output transistors on this ESC, and I've heat sinked it a little bit better than what the factory did, because the factory did not heat sink the ones at the bottom, and those had burnt. So those transistors are good, but when I turn it on now at low throttle, this is what happens, the motor jitters. So that jittering is not normal. This is supposed to be moving smooth. I've tested the motor on a different ESC and it moves smooth. However, at a higher throttle setting, the motor moves smoother. So I'm testing it again at the low setting. This is the high setting and this is the low setting. So that is not normal action for an ESC. And remembering that an ESC is a three-phase device and this motor is a three-phase device, that's why you have three wires there. One of the phases here will have to be given some kind of problem. So I'll check this, and these are the three drivers for each of the phases. So I'll check this part of the board here and see if we have any problems here. So when I test the circuit with the motor running and powered up, I'm getting 3.6 volts on the output here. I'm getting 3.6 volts on this output. On the middle phase, I'm getting 0 volts output. So I want to suspect the driver IC is bad here. This would make sense because the middle transistors at the bottom and some at the top also went bad. So what I'll do, I'm waiting on parts, so I will exchange these drivers and see if the system here starts to work. Okay, so this IC, which is a high side low side driver, was in this position, and I suspected it to be bad because I was getting 0 voltage out from this middle phase, the B phase here. And so I switched the IC, so I put it over here now to the A phase, and what was in the A phase came to the B phase. So I'm going to do a check now and see if the 0 voltage has shifted over here, and if it has, then definitely this IC is bad. So let me just turn the motor on, it's still running, and let's just check this phase here. So I'm getting 3.7 volts, 3.7 volts, so that IC was bad because I was getting 0 there, and if this IC is bad, I'll get 0 volts here, and I'm getting 0 volts. So I'll order the part and change it, and my motor should be running much more smoothly now. Okay, so I've changed this driver here. We had 2 good drivers, one was bad, and I've changed it. And let's see, more than likely the propeller wouldn't stutter now, so I'm connecting the battery. Right, so I'm just going to turn up this just a little bit where it used to stutter, and now you see the motor spins smooth. So it's getting the 3 phases. Right there, the motor would have been stuttering, and sometimes it would stop, but I can put some power on it. Let's do it again. So the motor is not stuttering. So that was the problem, in addition to some bad transistors.